Everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video, this time instead of the candidates, as yesterday was a rest day and the round will start in about 3 or 2 or 4 hours, somewhere around there, yeah, like 3 hours. In this video I'll be going through the Sicilian defense and all the variations of white and black, and as if you're a player and you want to try the Sicilian out or you're playing it, you can watch this video and learn a bit more about it or just learn about it. And with white there are also some tips on what to do, and so yeah, let's get into it. So the Sicilian defense starts with the move e4 and pawn to c5. So that's how the Sicilian starts. Then there are many ways to play this. There's d4, where you just take and then take back. And you can play something like knight c6 and maybe a kind of Scandinavian type queen to a4. That's a way to play. And then with black, you just need to go a6 and you need to go b5. While white, you can play a move like c3, bring your queen back to c2, settle in your knight, maybe go f4 if you want to be a bit aggressive. Just also defend this pawn with something like bishop to d3 and maybe play the move a3. So knight b4 doesn't affect the d3 bishop. But d4 is not the main way. Knight f3 is how you usually play it. Now black has many options on how to play here. There's a move like e6. E6 I would not recommend because like it doesn't really do much. There's another way to play. It's technically also e6. So you can play d6 here. D6 white, you need to go pawn to d4 in this position. Don't try anything else. If you're black and white doesn't go pawn to d4 like knight c3, you just need to focus on developing knight f6, and then like if they do kind of king's thing, you just develop develop your pieces. Okay, so you go bishop d2. Just keep playing. And you can eventually castle here, a6, b5, and put your bishop on b7. Or you can bring it out here and just quickly trade it off. Or maybe try knight d5, d4 stuff. So that's... But white, you need to try and play d4. Not here. Sorry. Here. And black, just always take. Always take. You need to get rid of the center pawn. White, if black doesn't take it, play something like that. Okay, here you can just go e5. If they play something else, what can... Yeah, they have to take technically. Because then you just go d5. Yeah, so if you just play push your pawns forward, they don't take. So black, make sure you take. White, take back with the knight, and then knight f6. Just develop if you're white. Black, there's things like pawn to e6, where white you can go a3 with a3. So that's after knight f6, knight c3, a3 to defend and stop black being a bit aggressive with bishop to b4. As if white doesn't go a3, then there are stuff like, let's say, what can they play here? F4. Okay, if f4 you just go queen to b6, and then there's like, yeah. So what else can they play here? Let's say you just develop. You can play bishop to b4, and now you're threatening to win this. They kind of have to play f3, because if they don't, like castle, you can take here, take back, and knight e4. And you technically just want a pawn for nothing. That's for black. So white, don't want to do that. Not really. So I would say takes knight f6, knight to c3, pawn to e6, play the move a3 just to defend the square. And like black, you just play bishop e7 and then just develop bishop e2, a6. And then f3 is not a really good move. You must try go f4. F4 and black, you can just put your queen here on c7, just castle white, and then if you want to go aggressive, you can play queen d2, castle queenside, and then attack like h4, g4. And black you should also attack here with b5, bishop b7, and defend here with something like h6, g5, which is not really defending. I'm just giving examples. So here, just castle, take, and knight to e8 is the only move out if they ever play e5, okay, black? So don't put your rook on e8 much. Put it on d8 if you're playing the move e6. If d6 is played, which I wanted to show you, then you can put your rook on e8 just to defend the pawn here. So if d6, usually you just bishop e3, g6. Whenever you play g6 white black, you need to go for a kind of accelerated dragon, the open dragon variation, where you go g6 and d6 and put your pawn on a6. Where f4 happens, then you can play bishop g7, and yeah, bishop c4, I guess, castles, and then yeah, I think the bishop has to go to e2. You won't bring it back. Wait, where did I put it on here? Yeah, instead of that, you can play something like bishop c4 and okay, wait, bishop g. You need to look out for things like knight g4 also in the Sicilian, so you can't really play bishop c4. You first play f3. F3, you can play bishop g7, then bishop c4, just castle, and like you can play queen d2 if you wanna like go aggressive mode. If he ever takes you, just take back with the bishop. Otherwise, black just go a6 if you want to be aggressive. If you don't, you castle this side. If you want, you can go here. Something like b5. Okay, b5 blunders, and I don't forget that, but don't blunder black. Okay, and yeah, you can do something. You have to first take here. Bishop takes back, and you go for bishop h6 stuff. b5. You can play back here. Something like a5. You can play a move h4. Try go aggressive mode. Black, there's an easy way to defend this. So look, let me just make example moves. If you get this position, okay. Firstly, you need to get rid of this. So let me make a position. Here you just take back with the F. And if they take here, don't get scared from this. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Okay, in this case you can't be scared. Usually the knight won't be there. You just keep your king here. Make sure it's defense. If the knight ever comes, you just play rook to f7. That's the point. I'm not doing the position. So yeah, that was the exhilarated dragon. That's another way for black to play, and white I show you what you can do to try and attack. So now other ways, there's a Najdorf. The Najdorf goes like this: d6 and then d4. No, not here. Knight f3, d6, d4, knight takes. Wait, what's happening? Yeah, d6, and then here you go d4, takes. This is the Najdorf, and you go knight f6, knight c3, and play a6. A6 is kind of an important move. It stops bishop b5, the knight on d to go to b5, and on c to go b5. And you can even go b5 yourself. Like a4, you go e5, just kick out this knight. Or another safe move would just be knight c6, because with e5 you see this pawn kind of gets weakened and it can be targets in the end game or middle game. So yeah, that was the nice variation with some ideas. And what else could there be to play? What else? Yeah, I showed you this one, and then there's nothing else, much else, just a nice stuff variation. Then there is a trap. There's a trap. There's a trap, right? So here we came to this position once, right? So here bishop g5 can be played, e6, just develop. Yeah, there is that thing. See? So once you take here, black may be winning. Knight takes d4 if you're a beginner. But white, you must make sure you find knight takes f7. So here you will go here and then you have to take king takes. Even though black's up a pawn, you castle, this king is open. So you're most likely gonna get a pawn back, maybe these two. And white will have a better position compared to black. Even though black is up a pawn, you can try hold on to it. White just go for the extra pawn and just go. Black try defend much in this position because you're up a pawn. So that was one thing, that stuff. Now another way, I think another trap was e4, c5, knight f3, and I'm trying to remember the trap. There's a trap. I'm pretty sure there was one. I think it was like d6 and then there was d4 takes. It was something, I'm pretty sure. I think it had went along the lines of knight to c6. Wait. Oh yeah, there was a g6 trap where white goes f4, bishop g7, e5. Now black try not to take. Instead of taking, you can to avoid it, you can just go something like knight h5. If you take back, then go back here. Don't go here. Still has bishop b5 check. And if that happens, block with this. Don't block with this because of queen here. You can't take because it's check. So if you take here, I'll just take back straight. And like I'm winning. Yeah, so that was one of the traps, and I don't think there's really anything else to show you. I think there is a trap along here, knight to f5. Somewhere here, yeah, if queen b6 ever happens, you have knight f5. And then yeah, if you take here, then you go bishop, you just take queen. So that's why I don't like queen to b6 because of the bishop thing. So yeah, that was kind of it for the Sicilian defense. I have nothing else to show you. Just remember with black, you've got g6, d6, or e6 to play. And if e6 happens, you want to put your bishop on either e7 or on b4. d6, you must go g6. There's the dragon, the knight up there. I showed you those traps. And white your idea, try and attack maybe f4, f3 later on, go to maybe assemble g4, like just go. And yeah, remember opposite side castling, whoever attacks first is the winner, most likely. So yeah, that was kind of it for the Sicilian defense. And please like and subscribe, watch my other videos, and yeah, that's it. Goodbye.